it's not so much about the brain itself, it's about why. I've been fascinating my whole life about why, you see? Why do we do the things we do the way we do them? Why are we acting in a certain way and not in another way? Why are things happening in our life all the time? So when I was a young, I don't know, a teenager, I was trying to find my answers in songs and poetry. Later on, that evolved. I started reading a lot. It wasn't as scientific as now. It wasn't at all scientific. I was reading stuff from Paulo Coelho, from Richard Bach, you know, and those were, well, giving some type of answer, of course, but I wasn't really satisfied. So I continued searching, and then I was looking for my answers much more in interpersonal relationships. But then somehow at one point, I guess I stopped searching. Now lucky for me, it came back. And so at one point I started working in the personal development sphere, and working with Dale Carnegie, working with different entities like that, and then I arrived at the Institute of Neurocognitivism, and that institute was a revelation for me. The Institute of Neurocognitivism was really about the brain, how the brain works and its impact on human behavior. Well, it's not because I got to the institute that I got interested in those questions. It's because I was interested in those questions that I ended up in the institute, right? It's how it works. So at that point, well, a whole new world opened up. I finally, after all those years, was finding answers to my questions. I was finally getting somewhere concrete and with something tangible. Everything else were just, nice words and fluffy theories about the universe aspiring or conspiring to help us. But here it suddenly became tangible, it became real. The brain works this and that way, and therefore we act this and that way. Because we act this and that way, the person in front of us reacts in this and that way because his or her brain is reacting to the things we're saying or doing. It was all signed, it was all clear. And that was a huge revelation. So why the brain? Well, because it gives the answer to why. Why to everything. At least towards everything that has to do with us, human beings. It's exhilarating. The more I study about the brain, the more I get to know, the more I research myself about it, the more it all makes sense. It's all linked together. It's all... You see, I'm getting excited once I start talking about this subject. It's fascinating. It's great. It becomes sometimes so beautiful how it fits together that it becomes that. How I was looking for my answers in music and poetry. Sometimes it's almost as beautiful as music and poetry. How the whole brain works.